Sara came to our dream group through Janet Muff, who is a Jungian therapist and very well-known Jungian therapist in Los Angeles. And Sara was going to Janet for some work, and she came to the dream group, and she has flowered like it's unbelievable. Afton can really speak to that, and I'm sure Nancy Angel can speak to that, and Julianne too, who are all in the dream group. We've been together a very, very long time. And Sara came, and she was doing beauty products and things of that nature, had a whole business doing that. And I've never seen such a quick turn from dropping that. And there was some other thing she was learning, like blockchain, which would have been very, very lucrative for her to do. And she had offers for it and all that. She dropped the whole thing. Diana, you talked about just letting go. She let it all go, and she turned to her heart and to her passion. That takes a lot of courage. And she went and she got into a master's program, on transpersonal psychology and whatever spiritual. It's a mixture of all the stuff we love. And we got to watch Sara flower, just blossom, literally, from going one direction to all of a sudden hitting her stride, and following her passion. And she has followed her passion, and one thing's led to another, and now we're getting a chance. She's got her master's degree, and she's going to go on and do further work, and she wants to help people. I think she may become a therapist or a teacher or a mixture. All of that is open for her. So she has so much to offer. She's so wonderful. We've all just fallen in love with her because she's so great. And I would have to say that it would be hard to find somebody else who has changed so quickly. And with that, I will turn it back over to Sara if she's finished with her tutorial.
Yes, thank you so much, Tim. That was a wonderful introduction.
I tried to stall for as long as possible for you there.
No, I'm ready. Thank you, Nadia, for the help, for the link. I knew I was doing a little something wrong, and now I know. Okay. There you go. And now, presenter view. Okay. Now you guys see just the screen, correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. So, as Tim mentioned, I recently completed my master's degree in transpersonal psychology, and for my thesis, I studied the transformative potential of group dream work. And just to clarify, my school was in the UK, and over there they call it a dissertation at the master's level, and then they call it a thesis at the PhD level. So that's why I might refer to it as my dissertation. And it was a phenomenological study, meaning that I wanted to study the phenomenon of transformation. And I'm going to start with my personal experience. This is the first dream painting that I did shortly after I joined the dream group, and I'll talk about it in a little bit. But many years ago, and at the height of my career, I started experiencing a mysterious pain in my body, mostly up and down the spine, which became debilitating over time. And after a long series of tests, I was told by the doctors that there was nothing wrong with my body. So I turned to alternative medicine, and I tried several different types of treatments, and none of them worked. What followed was a severe depression and a strong sense of hopelessness. This was the beginning of a long and reluctant investigative journey into the depths of my body and soul to find the source of the pain. And as Marianne Whitman has said, to find our inner truth, we must go into our shadow parts. And that is what I did because I was left with no choice. So I started seeing a Jungian analyst, and she suggested that something in the psyche was trying to get my attention. And the best way to investigate it would be through dreams. She recommended that I join a dream group, which I did. And together with the group members, we bonded over our dreams, which pointed to our shared humanity. We held a space for each other and supported each other on the journey that we were on. And about 6 months after joining the dream group, I had a dream that the woman who helped raise me, she's now deceased, she was showing me the way out of a mountain range. And I took this dream to the dream group and we worked on it. And later I painted the dream, which is the painting that you see on the screen. After this dream and the work that we did in the group, my pain has started to gradually go away. But it had sparked something within me. Working on this dream and a series of other dreams in the group provided what Duff has called a closed container that facilitates transformation, because the only way out is through. This inward retreat demanded that I put my career behind, and I embarked on a path that has led me to pursue a different line of work and this graduate degree in Transpersonal Psychology. This pain marked the beginning of a conscious individuation process that still continues. So by exploring the depths of my unconscious through dream work in a group setting, I've been able to find meaning in my life, even in times of great pain and suffering. And this has led me to find my life purpose, and as a result, I feel that I live a more fulfilled life. This, however, doesn't mean that the pain is gone forever. It surfaces in my body from time to time, only enough to remind me that I have a calling. So my mysterious pain is an ally that keeps me on the path to fulfill my destiny. And this understanding would not have been possible without the support of the dream group. Joining the dream group has changed my life in a very meaningful way. It opened doors for me that I didn't even know existed. So naturally, I've been curious to see if others have had such transformative experiences as a result of being part of a dream group. I'm also aware that I'm influenced by the positive transformation that I have experienced being part of the group. And I'm interested in working with people on their dreams in personal and group settings. So I wanted to delve deeper into understanding the lived experience of the participants in the group. And in order to do that, I had to set aside my personal views so I could approach the phenomenon with a fresh perspective as much as it was possible. So the question that I wanted to research was, what is the transformative potential of an individual unpacking a dream in a group setting? And I like to start with this quote by Fariba Bogzaran. And I quote, "By becoming aware of its different sides and facets through dreams, the self expands to its fullest potential, which is itself contained within a larger reality." So first, I like to give a little bit of theoretical background and context to this study. So we start with dreams and dreaming. Dreaming is a universal human experience of inner life. Dreamland is an imaginal environment where we can safely explore and process various concerns. And a dream seems to happen in the real world and is recognized as a dream only in retrospect. Now, since the dawn of man, dreams have played an important part in wisdom traditions and almost all religious traditions. We know that shamans and meditation masters use dreams as one of the methods of divination to help their communities. In religious context, dreams have been considered revelations from the spiritual realm, messages from God, and a source of religious inspiration. The field of dream studies, however, is much younger, and modern-day dream workers from different schools of thought do not speak of the gods, but they often believe that dreams come to us from a sacred place. And we know that although sleep plays a restorative role, what appears to be crucial for psychological integration is dreaming. And dreaming can address fundamental concerns with the spiritual experiences and psycho-spiritual development. Now, there are many schools of thoughts and ideas about the purpose of dreams and dreaming. Freud was the first one to psychologically study dreams, and he suggested that dreams' primary role is to fulfill wishes of sexual or aggressive nature and to act as guardians of sleep. Then came Jung, who suggested that dreams seem to be compensating the conscious position of the waking ego. And he introduced a process in which, rather than looking at past impediments, asks what is the life process moving towards. And he believed that dreams have a creative and problem-solving potential. And he considered dreams as attempts to work through unresolved issues. And he also said that dreams can foresee problems, serve as trials for new ways of experiencing, and provide intense experiences of transformation. Then came Hillman, who said that dreams belong to the mythical underworld of the psyche, and their purpose is soul-making. He asserted that dreams cannot and should not be interpreted, and that dreaming is the psyche doing its own soul work. Now, dream work is a set of skills that help us consciously engage with the dream contents before, during, and after recalling a dream. And through dream work, we learn that areas of psychological constriction are closely interconnected to areas of physiological tension or somatic symptoms. And dreams relate to emotional and spiritual intelligence. And working with dreams teaches us to connect our inner life and our outer life to one another. And this helps us cultivate the ability to find guidance in dreams, which then leads to transformative action. Now, dream group practice became popular during the 1970s. And the social nature of dreaming life may help us attune not only to our own feelings, but also the feelings of others. To share and explore one's dreams with the support of a group creates a set of social dynamics that are absent in self-inquiry. Sharing a dream in a group setting creates an opening for others to enter the dreamer's world. And sharing dreams with others in a private or group setting provides a unique opportunity for social exchanges and search for meaning. And while dream sharing can foster breeding ground for insights, the collectivist space itself becomes a place of inquiry. And the act of inviting people to share a dream opens up the imagination, and it can be very nurturing. Sharing dreams without judgment, without psychologization, without interpretation, and just for the sake of a story, places people in a bigger story and helps them not be so caught up in their own life's crisis. And all kinds of generative possibilities can come forward from that. So there are several advantages to group dream work. One is that other group members can identify meanings that may have escaped the dreamer. 2, access to the group members' collective knowledge in understanding mystifying dream symbols and metaphors. And 3, the safe environment and support that a group can offer the dreamer. Now, why did I want to do this research? Considerable research has been done on the transformative power of dreams. Research has also been done on participants' experiences within dream groups, as well as psychologists who facilitate dream groups. But none of the studies specifically focused on the transformative experience of participants in a dream group. So my study investigated and delved deeper into the transformative aspects of dream work. And the purpose is to develop practices based on the features of the studied phenomenon. Now, I suggest that dream groups can serve as alchemical containers and catalysts for transformation. What matters most is to create the same kind of space or container for others to have transformative experiences. So if we can understand their lived experience in a dream group, we can create and hold this space in larger context and wider applications. And I postulate that unpacking a dream in a group setting can bring about positive transformation for the individual group members. And my intention with this original research was to contribute to the field of dream studies from the perspective of transpersonal psychology. And wider applications of the findings of the study include education, business, therapy, art, medicine, and social activism, to name a few. Now, a transformative experience is defined as an experience that facilitates a lasting change in worldview, attitude, behavior, and psychology of an individual. To transform is to go outside the existing form. Transformation is the process by which we can become more distinctively who we are, and it can foster our individuation process. It's about becoming open to new possibilities. It's about the recognition that our present view of ourselves and the world is limited and incomplete. Now, researchers have identified common catalysts for transformation, and one of them is powerful positive experiences, which can be classified in several ways: extraordinary, numinous, noetic, mystical, peak, the kind of experiences that we were talking about last week on the Mastery Circle. Those are the experiences that often initiate transformation. And studies have also shown that the right personalized blend of supportive elements can bring the process of transformation to a relative completion. And this happens when an individual's way of being has been altered in a positive, meaningful, and lasting way. Now, a little bit about the methodology that I used. I used, as mentioned before, phenomenology as the framework for the study because I wanted to know what the participants experienced during and after the dream group sessions and how they experienced it. So a new dream group was formed with 4 participants whom I consider my co-researchers, and we were in 6 online sessions together. And in each session, we worked on the dreams of one person using the dream tending method, which I'll talk about in the next slide. The participants were then interviewed so that I could gather data about their lived experience during and after the group sessions. Now, a little bit about the dream tending method. It's a system for working with dreams based on the principles of Jungian and archetypal psychology. It was developed by Stephen Eisenstadt, which I'm sure some of you are familiar with. It borrows from Freud, Jung, and Hillman. It's the non-interpretive approach to dream work, and it's the method of accessing the knowledge and wisdom in dreams for the purpose of healing and unlocking one's creative potential. And about the method, Eisenstadt says, and I quote, "Dream tending can contribute to the transformation of an individual because it can help us reconnect with our authentic selves, deal with life's challenges, and understand the messages of the unconscious." This slide shows a sample of some of the stages of the analysis process that I went through to analyze the collected data, which I won't bore you with. So after the data analysis, 4 themes emerged, and I'll go through each one of the themes. But before I get to the results, I just want to say that the names of the participants have been changed to protect their identity. The first theme was gratitude. Participants felt heard, seen, and supported, and expressed deep gratitude for the space that was created. Elle said, "It was like a container that just held my words, my feelings, sensations, impressions very gently. I was feeling safe and supported, therefore I could allow and permit the dream characters to feel safe and supported." Eva said, "It helped me unlock a flood of feelings, experiences, and inspirations that are still vibrating in my head and heart." And Lola highlighted the difference between working on a dream with one person and in a group. And she said, "It's like I could have a supportive conversation with one person, but when you have a supportive conversation with the whole group, it's like you're carried." She also found the sessions therapeutic and said, "It's still working inside me." So it was very therapeutic in the sense that I feel some of my trauma was released, and I have more confidence, courage, and hope for the future. The second theme was that participants stated that the dream group was a positive, joyful, deep, and meaningful experience for them. Eva said, "I was tremendously moved. We went much, much deeper than I expected to go. I noticed in each one of us what we ended up literally crying about wasn't really in the dream. It was like a quilt, and you unfold it and you unfold it, and each time it opens up so deep, and where I ended up was not where I started, and I felt that way with everybody. We all ended up having a much deeper experience that the dream seemed to be about, and I thought that was quite wonderful." Lola said, "Overall, it has been an immensely positive experience. I learned a lot and I feel all the better for it, and I really hope to join a dream group someday." The third theme was that participants experienced a sense of oneness and interconnectedness that led to feelings of empathy, love, and compassion. Lola said, "It also gave me that sense of connection, that we're all going through the same thing together, but we all feel as if we're on our own, and we all feel as if it's just happening to us. But really, the same things are happening to everybody, manifesting in a slightly different ways. And in a way, each person in the group was giving me very similar messages in a very different way through the language and color of their own experience." She also felt that the other members' dreams applied to her, and she learned from them. She stated, "I didn't realize how interlinked all our basic needs are. I learned and used everything from other people's dreams." And Elle said, "Geography doesn't matter when we tune in together. I feel very close to all of us." And the fourth and final theme was that participants felt transformed due to change in perspective, expansion of consciousness, and openness. Eva said, "I feel a huge monumental shift. I feel totally inspired. I feel like a lot of things have fallen into place. I feel changed. I feel much lighter." And Donna said, "The changes that I'm seeing are because I'm conscious of my dreams and processing them. I'm looking for the signs in my waking life, looking for the clues and seeing if the dreams are manifesting." And Lola said, "I was receiving all this positive, lifting, supportive directions and messages, and I suddenly felt like I was on top of how things in my life affected me instead of under. I think this is why it was so meaningful. I felt empowered. She also noted that she's now more open to other perspectives and has stated, I'm listening to others more. I'm being reminded that there could be different perspectives on a thing, and mine is not necessarily the only one. So I'm listening for the other perspectives. And this is my favorite quote from Eva, who said, through the dream group, not the way I expected to, but I have found the magic. Now, it's important to point out that there are some limitations to this study, such as all the group members knew each other to various degrees, so they were already bonded. All participants were women. The experience could have been different if they were all men or if it was mixed men and women. And then like interviews, questions weren't sent to the participants in advance, so they didn't really have time to reflect on it. And results may have been different if interviews were conducted by someone other than me. But despite the limitations, the study advances literature regarding unpacking dreams in a group setting. And group guidelines can be developed based on the results of the study. And the positive transformative results show that group dream work can be a supportive tool for personal and collective growth. And it should encourage people to join a dream group. So there are 3 key findings that I like to leave you with. The study confirms that dream groups can serve as alchemical containers, utilizing the transpersonal as catalyst for transformation. Being part of a dream group can be a deep and meaningful experience. Being part of a dream group can bring about a sense of oneness, interconnectedness that leads to feelings of empathy, love, and compassion. In other words, we transform when our dream images transform. And furthermore, dream groups offer a viable opportunity to gather individuals and create a sense of community. And by engaging in this process, we gain insights into our interconnectedness, realizing that our struggles, fears, and aspirations are not exclusive to us alone, but are shared by others. And my hope is that as we heal and grow, we become agents of positive change, inspiring others to embark on their own paths of self-discovery and contributing to the healing of our fragmented world. I also want to add that this has been a transformational experience for me as well. I learned a lot about my role as a facilitator of the dream group. And also a sense of oneness and interconnectedness was also alive for me during the work with the participants. And at some point during the process, I was able to feel and touch and taste our oneness. It was no longer an abstract concept, but one that became very alive in every cell of my body. So with that, I want to thank everyone for listening. But while I have this stage, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. Steven Schmitz for his invaluable guidance and support throughout this entire research process. I also like to thank my participants in the study, as well as my amazing mentors and friends who were part of my original dream group. You know who you are. And last but not least, I like to thank Dr. Thomas Griggs for giving me his time and great advice when I was lost and I didn't know what topic I wanted to research. I'm really grateful to each and every one of you. I also want to add that I'll be starting a dream group online. So if anyone is interested, let me know and I can email some information. And with that, I like to open the floor for questions, comments. If you guys want to share your experiences of dream groups, all are welcome. Thank you, everyone.
What a wonderful talk. Thank you so much, Sara. It was really, really wonderful.
Thank you.
Really nice. I must say, as a creator of PowerPoints, yours was exquisite. I loved your imagery.
Thank you. I had a little help from you know who.
Congrats to both of you.
Thank you. Linda.
My mom was with me for a long time, and then she was in a car crash and was in the hospital for a lot of days. And it was a you know a crazy time for the family. But when she died, she was in there 11 days, and then she died. I had 4 dreams in a row, and they were all about my mother. And they were very settling. And the last one, she became an ascended master, and I'd never heard that before. But I know that she's fine. And I'm very settled. So I wanted to just share that.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Brooke.
Yes. Thank you. What a great talk. So I have a pragmatic question. When you're doing this work, Sara, how do you communicate? I think there's 2 elements to it. How do you tell the dream to the other people? I mean, do you take notes? Do you go, okay, here's what I was just dreaming about? And so that's one, just what is the process? And and then especially, you know, sometimes dreams are so irrational or illogical. And so, you know, I could say I'm walking down the street, but I felt like I wasn't moving, you know. How do you communicate the, you know, the bizarreness or illogicalness of dreams in the group?
Well, I gave the people in the group some tools for remembering their dreams and how to write them down. And I really emphasized writing their dreams down without punctuation and without any sort of filling in the gaps, and um, really bring it in as raw as you could possibly bring it, because it's the material that's coming from the unconscious, and it's really it's a lot more powerful when it's raw and it's not written like a story. So they were encouraged to write down their dreams as soon as they wake up, and then at each session, one person shared their dream or dreams, and they emailed it ahead of time to everybody so that we could all read it and look at it together.
I see.
But yeah, there was several tools that I gave them to help them remember their dreams and write them down. And
Good, thank you.
yes, thank you. Lisa.
So when I was a child, I had a reoccurring dream. And as I got older, I went to the bookstore and got a book on how to interpret dreams. And I'm not really sold on the fact that you can go to a book and let's just say you're flying in your dream and you read the interpretation of the dream in the book. It in your process I'm sure is radically different than just using the symbols in your dreams as a way to interpret them. So I'm very curious about that process. I would be interested in your dream group, because as an artist, I would love to be able to take the dreams that I have and use them to influence my work. But is your process is not about interpreting the symbols, right? It's different because you're discussing it as a group. I don't know, could you explain that and tell me what the difference is between, you know, the standard way most people think that they interpret their dreams?
Sure. Well, the problem with a book is that you can never interpret a dream without the dreamer being there. So a book that's already been written is, you know, every dream is different. Every person's unconscious material is different. The way you relate to those images are different. So you can't really, I don't even know how they write books like that. My process, or I use the dream tending method, which basically considers dreams as alive. Dreams are alive. They're happening in the here and in the now. So we work with dream images. We bring the dream characters in the room with us. We have conversations with them. We allow them to respond. And in this way, we're engaging the psyche. We're engaging the unconscious and the dream figures. And that's how we uncover the dream's desire. We understand what the dream is telling us. And understanding the symbols, and some of them are universal, that's part of it, but it's not all of it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Diana.
Wow. I've been telling myself a story that I can't remember my dreams. And I've been drawn, nevertheless, to working with it. And while I was going through all of my journals recently, a box of journals I hadn't looked at in years, I found this notebook. And all of these are dreams that I completely forgot that I ever wrote down and even went to the computer and recorded. I found this whole package of scribbled dreams. It's fascinating to me that I have no memory. This is from 1994. So that's, what is that, 30 years ago?
Well, that's a long time.
Oh, but I'm very interested in studying with you and working with you. So please include me in any information you're sending out about how to join.
For sure. And you know, dreams are, it's always good to look at one dream, but when you look at a series of dreams, I mean, Tim sometimes does these presentations to us at our dream group that, you know, is like his dreams over, I don't know, 10 years, or all the animals that have visited him in his dreams. Like when you look at a series of your dreams, that's really when you see where, you know, where the individuation is happening, what the psyche is telling you. The juices come out really when you look at a series of dreams as opposed to just one single dream. Afton and then Sam.
Yes, I've had the privilege of being 15 years in the group with, at one time, all of us was here. Alan's not here now, but Tim and Angel and Julianne and Sara and myself. And I want to say a couple of things. I think this presentation is like the culmination of creativity that has come out of your transformation. And Tim has already said this, but I have never, ever been with anyone who has transformed so much, so fast. It's been such an honor, such a joy to be with Sara through her. I was there the day she came in with her body just riddled with pain. And that was all the focus was on the dreams for a long time. And gradually it began to morph. Another thing I want to say is each dream that we would present was all of our dreams. We would, from the moment it was recorded, we would go into the energy space as if this were our dream together. And Sara showed her drawing. Another thing that came out of our dream group was incredible creativity. Tim has presented over the years several of his creative things that have come out of the group, dioramas, sculptures that just blow your mind. I have created like a reb book, my own kind of reb book out of my dreams. And then Sara showed you the kind of art, and this is without art training that comes from the dream group. So yeah, it's just Sara, that was just like an amazing culmination of all our years together. It was such a joy to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Afton. Thank you.
Thank
Sam.
Yeah, I just wanted to amplify something that Lisa spoke about. You know, I found that going to a dream symbol book is helpful up to a point. But the key issue, like 6 of us in this group may have a dream about an elephant. And you look up the meaning that the particular author gives it. But the real task is to develop a relationship with my elephant and to talk to it and see what in particular it's saying to me. And it will be different than what it is saying to other people. So it's you talked, Sara, about the dream being alive, and so I relate to the elephant as an alive part of me, and try to talk with it, and as I say, develop a relationship with it. And Tim does that through art. He's sculpted and painted many of his dreams. So yeah, developing a relationship.
Absolutely. Well said.
I have one more thing to add, and that is most of us have seen Emily's presentation here that Tim has given twice. Emily was in our group for many years, and some of those artwork were the dreams that came out of our dream group, and so that's another creativity that manifested.
Yeah, I mean, her paintings are unbelievable. They're absolutely something else. Anyone else? Stephen, would you like to say something? Yes.
Come on. Okay. Yeah, I just want to say it's another excellent presentation. I was there at the presentation you did for Aleph Trust, and this one was even better. And I think it may have been because of the quality of the group that you have here, that all these people are very in love with you and appreciate you and are very interested in this work. And I think you did an excellent job. It was a real, several people talked about the joy of knowing you. It was a real joy for me as a supervisor to work with you. You're a brilliant scholar. You're very responsible. It was like I hardly had to do any work other than saying, yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. And I think you're going to do well. I really feel, what's the word? I guess privileged to be a part of your growth. And I've noticed the transformation too. And I really appreciate who you are, how you show up, and the work that you do. And I very much support you in your moving forward as a dream worker.
Thank you so much. Thank you. None of it would have been possible without you. Thank you for all the support and holding my hand throughout the process. And I am hoping that one day you will come and speak to us at the Mastery Circle about shamanism, because that's really your specialty. And I took Stephen's class, Shamanistic Psychology, as part of my coursework, and that's how I met him, and he became a great mentor and teacher. So I'm hoping that one day you'll come and speak to us.
That would be great. I'll plan for that.
All right.
Right, it's 8:50. Our time is coming to a close, and I have to say, Sara, I don't know if you noticed, but we've had one of our largest gatherings. We've had 42 participants, which is kind of unheard of. So you've broken a record. So if Mary Grace, again, thank you. Marvelous, marvelous. There's not a person in the room who's not wanting to be in your next room dream group.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.